Why, howdy there, everyone. It's GleeCon, and I'm back again with another episode of Lore of Warcraft. Oop. Thanks for tuning in. This is a show, well, heck, 1,500 episodes. Just check out the catalog. We've covered everything up to classic, all kinds of lore, most of the non-canon lore. We do at least one drop of that per week. We are deep in a run of World of Warcraft Classic era. Completionist walk through every single potential quest in the game, and we are a couple zones away, 2-3 zones away from being about 3/4 of the way through all of the content that exists. We're in the middle of Tanaris right now. We just started that with an alliance run last time, so stay a while and listen as we take old Glee Contessa, our human retribution paladin. Last time, all we really did was set the stage. We did one of the Griffin Egg or Hippogriff Egg quests. That's one of the more annoying things we have to cover. And we also did the primary Wastewander bandit. We did the first half of the Wastewander bandit killing. So we need... I came here for a couple reasons. I want fishing supplies because we couldn't fish in Tanaris without...
The fish off the coast of Teldrassil are quite large and robust.
Without these bright baubles. I wonder what a stack of these. Can I stack 20 of them? Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If I can stack 20, I'm just going to start carrying a 20 stack of these stupid bright baubles. Now that we looked at the math yesterday and I realized some zones take as much as 400 and something. I'm like, oh, well, then I guess, what? It only increases it by 75? And it's not even the best. Oh, well. I guess I should have saved some of those aquadynamic fish attractors.
Hello, adventurer. I greatly care for young hippogriffs here. Feel free to have a look around.
All right, I think we've had him tell us more about the hippogriffs long ago, but we're going to turn and handle with care.
Farewell.
Another shipment from Kurgle, I assume.
Thank you for your help, adventurer. The hippogriff population simply wouldn't flourish if it weren't for us. But I am sure you understand all too well, having traveled to Feralis yourself and seen the devastation of the Gorduni there. Well, as you can see, I'm hard at work here, so you'd best be on your way.
Alright, so that's it. It literally is just a breadcrumb to Darnassus. I guess if you had not been there, he does have information about hippogriffs, so that's part of it too, I guess. We're going to now, like I promised each time, since we have to do 4 of these hippogriff eggs, and we might have some redundancy, each episode, we're going to do it at least one time, sometimes more than one. So we're now going to fly down to Feathermoon. And we did the math, we timed it really, and it turns out that while I like this journey from Feathermoon Stronghold to this better, it is actually shorter. Oh, I forgot we have to kill Veil Screechers when we're here, too. So that's another thing. We need to kill the Veil Screechers for that other quest. That is 3 Screecher Spirits. So while we're out and about, we need to kill those and get those done. So we actually had to go to Feralis. Anyway, I say Feralis, but because I think of like a feral tiger. But anyway, let's put that quest. Handle with Care is now completed. So we also cover we do a spreadsheet. I keep that... I don't know what the heck I just did. We do a spreadsheet. I keep it going to have everybody on the same page. I share this in the comments, so you're more than welcome to have access to it. There's only one more Alliance-only quest, and it's not even really Alliance-only. It's just that for whatever reason, you get more XP for doing this Rise of the Silithid step that is part of this, the finale questline for Tanaris. For whatever reason, it happens at 2 levels. Now, the Horde do actually have one. They have a small quest chain. It's called Errand for Apothecary Zinj. Then he sends you into the field. You can get a power source. It's kind of annoying, but it leads us to... You have to kind of go all over the zone collecting things, and you have to do it on a timer. So we'll cross that when we get there, but it looks like a bunch of quests, but it's just one quest chain. Alright. Anyone need cave mushrooms? That quest, I guess, is kind of annoying to do if you're in Darkshore on your own doing it. Yeah, so we got a fine egg. If you weren't here or you kind of zoned out, there's a series of quests in Gadgetstan called the Super Egg-O-Matic, and they lead to basically you have to bring a hippogriff egg. These are world spawns. They are spawn in the nests along this back cliff right here, really around this little part. The spawn rate's pretty good, 1 to 2 minute respawn, and there's I don't know 8 or so spawn spots, nests. I never usually have to look more than 2 or 3 nests before you find one that has a spawned egg. You can only carry one at a time. That's where the annoyance comes in because this place is remote to get to. We timed it for Alliance. Was it faster to fly from Gadgetstan to here and then walk down around Camp Mojache and then down? Or was it faster to fly into the Feather Moon and then either swim or sail across and then make your way down? And from where we are right now, coming from this coast, since we're going to go straight down, I'm going to just go sail into Feather Moon. But normally, the time it takes then this part's quicker. This is a quicker run from here to here than this run from here to here, even with the swimming. What gets you is that when you then fly, you have to re-fly back across this zone and then do the same zone as the other. So you're adding that whole extra level of flight on, and the amount of time you save going from here to here is not even close to the amount of time you're adding on to fly across this zone. So it was a 2 or 3 minute difference in time, so significant. So unfortunately, even though this is a much easier walk path because you swim in a straight line, whatever, the beach is flat. You have to go up a small hill here, and then it's a flat ride from here. Whereas this, you have this winding, stupid road. You have to worry about not going in Mojache. A couple different times you have to jump off of a cliff into a lake and come back up. It's just significantly more annoying. But still, even with all that, it's faster. Now, Horde, when we do it, it's an entirely different experience. It's still pretty annoying because you have to go from Camp Mojache to there, but there's no decision to make. You're just going Mojache and out, Mojache out. And it's still a little shorter because you're cutting off that small piece, and you don't have to worry about going around. You can just stick to the road, come down. So it's way less annoying. The big advantage on Horde, as is the theme really for most of the game. Since we're going to have some flying right now to do, even after this, let's start a process and look to see what's more annoying. Alright, so Darnassus, obviously, to get here as Horde, is a pain in the butt. So Horde has a huge disadvantage if you want to do anything in the Night Elf starting zone, such as Lunar Festival, or assaulting Darnassus. So huge disadvantage, not to mention there are a couple bugged out quests that should not be available to the Horde, yet they are. I have not seen this issue from the reverse, where it's a bugged out quest that should be available to the Alliance, but it isn't. That means for a true completionist, for instance, we will have to go travel, and we did this already, but we have to travel into Darnassus to pick up a quest as a Horde character. The only way to get there, because this is an island nation, is to make your way through a hostile enemy territory, get onto their boat, and sail across. There's no other way. Then make your way up through a portal. It's a pain in the butt. There's no other capital that compares to it. From the flip side, it's also extraordinarily annoying to get there. There is no direct link between Teldrassil and any of the other capitals. You just have... The best bet is to somehow get your way over to Kalimdor, probably via booty. Actually, the best would be to go from Menethil. So if you can make your way up through the wetlands, you can catch a boat to here, where you could then catch a second boat. So the fact that, yes, that's annoying. The fact that the Horde only have to come here for 2 to 3 isolated events ever, whereas the Alliance need this as one of their main capitals, And even once you do finally get over here, the flight to get up to that corner, it makes this the least desirable capital. Now, in terms of layout, you get a portal that puts you right in the center. That's helpful. And then you can easily go to whichever point you need. And then right there in the middle next to the portal is all the fishing you need, and it's also the bank is right there. So as far as layout, it's not that bad. It's a pretty good, I'd put it up there. Sometimes it's a little bit annoying trying to remember, do I want to be in the tradesman's terrace or the craftsman's terrace, and I have to ask a guard. And there are amenities that this place is lacking. I don't think there's a mining trainer, and probably not an engineering trainer on site. There are no arcane trainers. There are no paladin trainers. So like 30% of the content in the game cannot be served while you're here, which is super annoying. And it is the primary existence for a robust alliance portal industry just trying to get here. That being said, it is really a heartline for early leveling herbalism and alchemy. Very, very easy to come through here. It's fine on cooking. Obviously, like I said, fishing is just fine. Also, leatherworking, all that is fine. Enchanting, despite this not being magic friendly, is still fine here. All right, so starting off right there, though, I would say heavy disadvantage to Alliance. Okay, and then you come into Aberdeen. Well, this is a secondary zone. If you are a night elf reaching Aberdeen, you come through a little boat. So, like a tiny 1-point loss. Really not a big deal. The zone itself is long and annoying to travel. It's probably the longest of the secondary starting zones. It's very linear. However, it is jam-packed with quests. So that's... What the heck? Oh, I thought... For a second I was like, wait, where am I? No, I see. The boat just left, so it's perfect opportunity to be like, oh, okay, well. We're going to now take the swimming route. And while we're here, we're going to fish. I'm going to get that 5 points of fishing. Oh, look, there's a fisherman you can train. But we're going to do the old fishing route. The boat is annoying. Now, heading back, I think it's best to get the boat, if you can catch it, because it's a straight shot across. Actually, you know what? Let's do that. I'm going to wait for we're going to fish from the dock. That'll be a start. And then take that boat off. It'll lose some of our whatever, or bauble, but I don't care. Okay, so we'll wait for this boat to come back. Oh, I'm still using the fishing pole. I never put it back on. Okay, we had problems fishing in Tanaris. I'm guessing we are not going to. I think Feralis is same types of problems. All right, we're going to fish as long as we can, but I think it's a straight shot back. So I think it's worth it to wait here. Because we do need... Oh, it says I'm not line of sight. Alright. We'll talk about some of the other zones in our other flight paths today, and we'll pick up this journey as well, but I like this conversation of who gets screwed over more. I'm firmly of the belief that it is the Alliance, and that seems to be what I've read online. I mean, we can fish while we can do this while we fish. Alright, so yeah, Alliance here, as far as you're thinking of it as a secondary zone. So the best way to compare this would be as a comparison to Silverpine Village, or to Silverpine Forest, but also how is it to navigate as a town? Well, the flight path is centrally located, but like I said, the zone itself is neutral because the distance to travel can be quite annoying at an early level when you have no means. But also, it is jam-packed with quests and things to do. So, and it also inspires you to fish, which I think is a nice perk. So I can't really complain a lot about that. And then as far as protecting itself from the opposite place in the game, like from the Horde getting here, it's pretty solid. There's anyone can jump in from Fellwood, so that's one option. It's not too bad. The Horde don't have to come here for very much at all, just for the Aberdeen path to get over, so the need to visit Aberdeen, and even they can come either through Ashenvale or through Fellwood. So there's not like a, hey, we're going to stick it to the man with the Horde here. So overall, this is neutral. Now, if you were to compare it to... So I would say we're at a net neutral here. Nothing really helping or hurting the Alliance. It's not particularly far out of the way from Alliance hotspots such as Ashenvale. If you can make it up, we got 1 point of fishing right there. If you can make it up this far, you're okay. Okay? Now, Moonglade is a neutral zone. It's useless to get there unless you're Alliance or unless you're a Druid. The only way to get there by foot is to come up through Fellwood. So that's just as annoying whether you're Alliance or Horde. So Moonglade is a true neutral party. Now, when you're in there, even then, the flight path for the two Druids are right next to each other. And the bottom flight paths are like here and here, so there's little to no difference in terms of experience. We're going to fish until this boat is right about to go. Okay. So overall, I'd say Moonglade just straight up. That does nothing to anybody. That doesn't help or hinder any argument, any points system. Okay, I would say Winter Spring is also similarly neutral, because the only way to get to Winter Spring is through that tunnel, the Furbolg tunnel, through Fellwood. That is equally neutral for both. The only flight path is the neutral flight path within Winter Spring. Of course, there is proximity here to other lands, but that one, Winter Spring, is pretty darn neutral for an endgame zone. Now, you could make the argument in Fellwood. Fellwood, the flight path is quite close to Winter Spring for the Alliance, whereas the Horde flight path is in the middle here. Oops, so here we go. So you could make the argument that there's just the most tiniest benefit to Moonglade and Winter Spring for the Alliance. There's just a small difference between picking those two. However, the trade-off, and that really helps with the Furbolg tunnel, trade-off being you are not centrally located. But that's to the, well, okay, we'll discuss Fellwood now. So this, I'd say, is also a wash. A Horde have a nice centrally located flight path. Pretty good. The Alliance have one that's more out of the way, but it is more conveniently located to the Furbolg tunnels, which is a major farming spot and a major spot of need for if you're rep grinding for the Furbolg tunnels. So the fact that you have a base right there is really useful, but if you're not interested in that, the fact that this is more centrally located for all the grinding and for the jump into Darkshore, that's super useful. So, and then they're both centrally located straight up out of the center of Ashenvale, which is about equidistant from the two bases. So I would give Fellwood a neutral grade. It doesn't really favor one partnership over the other. All right, now Ajara here, there is a flight path, and the flight path is very close for both. So within the zone itself, it's neutral. However, this flight path creates extreme difficulty for the Alliance because you cannot link Ashenvale to the rest of the world without visiting it. So the fact that it exists causes severe damage to the Alliance, who need to get from southern Kalimdor to northern Kalimdor. Also, Ajara is walking distance on foot from Orgrimmar, which also strongly benefits the Horde. So is Azara based on its proximity to Orgrimmar and on the lack of need to link the flight paths is hands down a superior. It favors the Horde. And as a matter of fact, when the goblins take it over in Cataclysm, it becomes symbolic of the Horde. Basically becomes a Horde zone. It's neutral, but, you know. All right, so far we have a lot of neutral. And even this is kind of like a wash, a neutral. But we do have some extreme perks leading towards the Horde. All right, we're going to look at Ashenvale now. Ashenvale is a big zone. The Horde have 2 flight paths on either end, which is almost superior to the central one for the Alliance. The Horde, the link into the zone, the primary link in from the Horde is the Barrens, which is a central zone, whereas the only real way to get here is either through the Barrens, which favors the Horde, or through the Darkshore, which is much more of a pain to get to. So the getting to this zone for the first time extraordinarily favors the Horde. There's the Black Fathom Deep's Dungeon, which is a neutral dungeon. Ooh, excuse me. However, the Horde have a flight path next to it, so huge benefit to the Horde. And then it links into Stone Talon through the Talon Deep path. Okay, there's a slight benefit to going through that path for the Alliance. Very small, but the Horde have better entrances into Stone Talon. So that is not a big deal. Also, this is very close to Azara, Felwood. Those are kind of neutral, but you have to get to Azara, you have to pass right by, within guard striking distance, a Horde base. Whereas if you want to go over to the Zoram Strand, you do have to pass through striking distance from an Alliance base. So that's a little annoying the one time you're linking that for each. So that's about a wash. But I would say overall, that secondary flight path and the ease of getting here for the first time compared to Alliance, unless you're a Night Elf, favors the Horde pretty strongly too. All right, Orgrimmar as a capital connected to Durotar. So Orgrimmar itself as a capital is lame, the way that it's laid out. It's different in Cataclysm, but the way that it begins, it does get some revamps, but to begin, your king is far off in the corner. That's a little bit annoying. A lot of the trainers are there. When you need to, if you need to do mining or any training like hunting or warriors, that's annoying. Off in there, off to the side up in there. Okay, we're about to run out of our fishing lure, and now I've got to make a decision for our last 7 or 8 casts. We're going to see how. I don't know that I necessarily want to do a. Oh, that was a waste, because I was thinking because we started with the lure, it would have helped us. I can't believe I got itchy trigger finger. There's a dungeon within the city. Dang it. This is what's annoying is for our last like 8 casts, I'm going to have to spend another bauble. That's why I got 20 though. Because I already knew, you know what, this is going to happen. Whatever. It's 2 silver. It's not the end of the world. 2 silver and change. All right, so let's think here about Orgrimmar. I'm kind of torn. Cleft of Shadow, to get to the windiness of the zone and the different levels of it, super annoying. The fact that you have to go to these disparate parts to do the various different things, and you almost have to have this like encyclopedic knowledge of where everything is. I just don't like it. It's not, as far as a capital city goes, layout-wise, the Horde loses, and this is where they typically tend to lose. However, it is attached to a Zeppelin that takes you both to the bottom of the Eastern Kingdoms and the top of the Eastern Kingdoms, and it is not that far from the other capital city, Thunder Bluff. So it's a quick, direct flight over to Thunder Bluff, and it's attached with a Zeppelin directly to the Undercity. That right there makes it better than anything else. So it's still, it overcomes the shoddy design by the connection to those Zeppelins. That is hands down makes up for it. The fact that you have a little first level dungeon right inside it too, that's more useful to me than having the stocks. It's not that popular of a dungeon, there's not a lot of good loot, but it does just have a nice easy way to get you ready to start dungeoning. Alright, but now you look at Durotar. So the closest comparison would be comparing it to either Dun Morag, to Elwyn Forest, or to Teldrassil like we just had. Well, Teldrassil on the whole, as you compare it, Teldrassil is probably the closest comparison to this, because the capital is on one extreme end and the zone expands out from Teldrassil. Whereas Elwyn Forest is kind of like that, but it's more spread out. I'd say Elwyn Forest is the more direct. The Undercity is more like Elwyn Forest in its layout. Okay, we got it. We're done. We wasted 8 minutes of fishing, but we got one clam. Alright. Time to get back to business. Let's go get our egg now. Alright, let's see where we're at with time. Okay, so that's about where I thought. So we start right at 11. So we still have a little bit over an hour. And now we need to go make our way down. Oh, we need to get these Veil Screechers too. So we're looking for Veil Screechers while we're out and about. You use a Screecher we kill one, and then from their corpse. There is one right now. I thought they were owls, but apparently they are like these. We got a couple here. They're like some kind of wind serpent. Yeah, so if we think about what are they? How are the initial? What is that? Can't cast spells. Okay. All right, so we're gonna use the bauble to get the spirit. We got all of our wind serpents that we need right here, and then we talk to it, and that is a collection. Okay. So comparing the starting zones. Durotar is fine in terms of questing. Just cut out the aesthetic. We're not going to talk about that. But the layout of the zone being so long and top heavy, and having the troll part so far down and away, that's actually annoying. It says the spirit hovers over its fallen body. Its ghostly eyes pierce through you as it gazes beyond. This is all leading up to some Zul'Farrak quest, which may in turn be tied to a sunken temple quest. I don't know. A lot of connections between those two. Tip me. Yeah, so Orgrimmar has some things to be left to be desired. Now, Razor Hill, the existence of Razor Hill. That one didn't even talk to me. But we have all three. That Razor Hill is a pretty nice central starting town compared to some of the others, so it's laid out nice and easy. And the zone itself does kind of have that central, but the need to go down all the way to the bottom, that's kind of annoying. Alright, now to get another egg while we're here. And Teldrassil, the starting town is okay. There are a lot of amenities that are lacking. Like I said, anything having to do with mining or plate-wearing type classes are completely absent. So there is this noticeable goal for Void if you happen to be interested in anything like that as a Night Elf or as a character going to complete the Night Elf's quests. So there's that. But it is make up for it to some extent by just being a bounty for herbalism. Other than that, the questing's okay. It does start on one end of that, and it makes its way towards. But then the zone is much more round. It's a circular zone. So you continually go off more in spokes. And the base town is somewhat centrally located. So there are some benefits there. Although the complete lack of ore is a really interesting element that actually does, depending on your path, significantly impact you. So we can't analyze them without really analyzing the other things. It does have easy riverside access to the entirety of the Barrens, so that part's kind of nice. It also has an alliance-only quest. I guess I said it didn't exist, but there is a quest. You have to technically come as alliance to go there. There are 2 quests, really. From a goblin that's there. So that's a minus for the... We don't need iron anymore. We're all good on iron from this point out. So that's something to think about. Eldershield does have one of the most annoying early quests in the game, which is trying to get the Black Moss, the Fedens drop from the rare spawn. Doing Morag, again, take aesthetics out of it. It's not too bad. It's pretty centrally located. The Iron Forge. It's very similar also to Elwyn in its layout. You got the capital north off-center, and the land spreads out along it. Although there are no real borders to anything with Dun Morag, and there are for Elwyn. This is just like me thinking about some of the other zones, so I can put it in comparison. And Elwyn shares that whole waterline border with Westfall and Duskwood, although that's still not as cool as sharing a border all over. Where the heck? I'm way off. I've missed this. I've missed the boat here. Okay, we got to go up in the hills to get a nest. Went a little too far. There's an egg right there. Right? And another one right there. Like I said, not too shabby. There's more eggs. There's another one back there. Just trying to get away from those hippogriffs. Alright, now we're going to go back this way because that's shorter. We're finally going to make our way back to Tanaris. This will be our second egg. Hopefully it is, you know, chances are pretty high. 75% chance that it's going to be an egg that we need. We just don't want a fine egg. What else do we have? Oh, and then you also have the weird Nomergon. They don't even really have their own starting area, unlike the trolls. Then you also have the Tauren zone. Somewhat similar to Durotar, but not as painful. And then you also have Restful. So I'd say Durotar is more annoying because it does have the adjacent connection to the Barrens, which is a small plus. It also contains the Zeppelin Tower, although we're going to give those points to Orgrimmar. It's overall a pretty nice, solid, neutral zone to pick up all kinds of things, maybe leaning a little bit more towards the mining. And it shares that border with the Barrens, which is good, but not only does it have that long stretch, but the way the quests are designed, you have to travel up and down. It does have a positive. Razor Hill is pretty positive. Overall, it's kind of lame, so the experience is kind of lame. Not to mention the aesthetics of the zone are boring. Alright, so we're going to put Duratar on the lower end of things. I'm going to, anyway. Obviously, people might disagree with me. But as far as starting zones go, it's one of the worst. Now, Teldrassil loses massive points for how isolated it is away from the rest of the world. But if you're a starting Night Elf, that doesn't affect your life. So it doesn't actually lose as much points. Darnassus already lost all the points for that. But Teldrassil itself, that's not really a big factor. And its connection to the one other zone it needs is annoying that you have to take a boat, but not that annoying. It's also, there's also a free flight path. Alright, so I would put Duratar, I'd probably put these two as the two worst so far. Teldrassil maybe is a little bit better for quality of life in the heat of the moment, but its overall disconnection from the world makes it lose some points, which the Baron's connection otherwise gains. So they're probably about even, and they're probably the two worst zones. So probably put Teldrassil just because of its isolation as 6th. But overall, that means we're still about at a wash. We're going to have to go around that other one soon. Okay, now the Barrens is iconic. It is the central area of Kalimdor. If you are a Horde, it's a neutral zone that heavily favors the Horde. It has a dungeon right in the middle. It has 2 more dungeons to the south. The 2 dungeons to the south heavily favor the Horde in terms of distance. The dungeon in the middle heavily favors the Horde because of distance. So Horde has huge advantages in this quote-unquote neutral zone. This zone is essentially one of the main ways that the Alliance can access Kalimdor through Ratchet. Ratchet is so much more easily accessed if you are Horde. So again, huge advantage to Horde. The zone itself is whatever because it's a neutral zone. And within the zone itself, it is a huge, huge pro-Horde zone. So just for one of the most important zones in the game, you're leaning all the way Horde. So sucks to suck, Alliance. Oh, I fell in the water. Alright, if you want to look at tucked away in the Dustwallow Marsh, well, the Alliance has pretty good access to this because of the boat from the wetlands. This is also the other key way to get into. But that little peninsula capital they have there, which you have to go to so often, actually becomes a source of annoyance. I don't want to keep going there for my master training. For my master tailoring. I don't want to keep going there for first aid. Like, I don't want to do those things, and I'm forced to. I don't want to have to keep going there to go to Tabitha. Whereas for the Horde, you can just go fly into Brackenwall Village for a lot of those same things. Cooking. So it's just a pain in the butt. And the little peninsula you get as Alliance, it just doesn't make it that much better. I'd still rather have the flight path there. Easily, centrally located flight path. So I'm going to go still favors Horde. Even though this is supposed to be an Alliance stronghold, it still freaking favors the Horde. Mulgore, of course, is the other capital. We haven't even been there on this character. Pretty nice. It's probably one of the best designed starting zones, although it can be a little homogeneous. A little boring in terms of its aesthetic value. Quests are fine. Central area is fine. Working on the jobs works out fine. Questing is, nicely located throughout. It's a pretty good, solid zone. It's got to be tipped near the tops. All right, finally we made it to the flight path. We can fly back to Tanaris. Jeez Louise. So overall, I put that up there. It's definitely, I would say, it's probably 3rd place. And you have the capital, not quite as isolated as the other ones are, but it's still pretty up and down, sort of like Duratar is, but it's centrally located. It does connect you right to the Barrens, which is a crucial zone. But it's a little bit more annoyingly connected to the Barrens than Durotar is. So he loses points there. I'd say it's a tenuous hold on third place right there, rocking with Dunmorog for third, fourth, jockeying with it. But I would give the edge to Mulgore, even though that Barrens connection loses points. Okay, with Stone Talon up here, this is an annoying zone. Neutral technically heavily favors the Horde. The Horde have 2 entry points, and the when you quest, they have quests here. They have all the neutral quests here. They have centrally located flight path with a shortcut leading to the harder quests in the zone. Only thing get you is they have a couple elite tough quests up there that make it hard. But the Alliance flight path is an obnoxious pain in the butt. It is probably the least useful flight path in the entire game. It's so out of the way, so far from all the quests you have to do. It is completely obnoxious, and to get down into Deathless, this is really your only way down into Deathless as an Alliance character. It's just a pain. As a matter of fact, it's so annoying that when you go to Deathless, the flight path you get is usually better than the actual flight path in Stone Talon to access everything in Stone Talon. So, Horde get huge points there. Alright, in Deathless, might as well drop down there. The Alliance have that path, like I said, it's really like Stone Talon Mountains Plus. And because of that, it's an annoying, takes you away from everything. Not a great thing. The rest of the zone is all in front of you. It makes this zone not great. The Horde have a central base at right near the Kodo Graveyard. It doesn't have a flight path, but it's still a centralized base, as well as a shore base that happens to be right next to Maraudon, and near all of the Centaur quest lines, whereas their base is not next to these couple quests at the top. So, right, there you go. And there's a Mega Elite Rexar that is Horde friendly that patrols the zone. That can just end your life if you're Horde Alliance. So, again, Deathless. Heavily skewed toward Horde. Although we are in Kalimdor, so this story might change as we go on. Alright, we can finally turn in 45 minutes into the episode. We've made our way back. We've done our fishing, and we've gotten our 1 dumb egg. And let's actually spend some time questing now. So we go to the thing. We go to the repeatable Super Egg-O-Matic. I think the words are pretty much the same. It says, the Super Egg-O-Matic is the latest of Kirkle Crankle-Hop's inventions. I think it said this before, too. It's quite an impressive piece of machinery. The Super Egg-O-Matic sputters wildly as you approach the control panel. You place the Hippogriff egg into the machine. A series of beeps follows along with some strange mechanical sounds. It appears that the eggometer has weighed, measured, and packaged your egg. Now that's speedy service. You get nothing for it, no rep, no XP. We open the egg, and we got a bad egg this time. It's lame. The bad egg is the worst one, but it is one of the other ones we need. And we turn into her.
Interesting.
A bad egg.
Off and away.
These are the eggs that cannot be saved. They'll never hatch.
I am afraid I have bad news for you, adventurer.
You get
This
9
egg
silver.
you hog on. I can take it from you so that it may be disposed of properly. Please don't be discouraged. We cannot save them all. If you find yourself in Feralis again, please try again. Bring another egg for the Super Egg-O-Matic.
We did get 11 rep for that, so that's it. We got 9 silver and 11 rep for that part of our journey. Alright, so the Super Egg-O-Matic Part 2, which is the repeatable version, we did complete that. Let's go ahead and extend our quests up. So we did pick up and complete that. And we now have a bad egg taken care of here. So a bad egg that was picked up and completed. So we got a fine and a bad. We need extraordinary and we need ordinary. Those are the 2 that are left. All right, so now that we are here, let's go back out to do... Oh, we can go turn in our Screecher Spirits, and then let's go kill some more Wastewander. Let's get some more Wastewander justice. So while we walk over, obviously we're also looking for Mithril, if we can ever find it. But if you look at the spreadsheet for where we are to start, we want this more Wastewater, we want the next bounty. So we want those 2 things while we're running out and about. They are important. Gazridian is a pretty important quest. We did hit 51. Oh, you know what? We hit 51. We need more fishing. let's just bust it out while we're here. We'll waste some more of our lures. And I know you guys love it. But while we're over there at Steam Weedle, we've already wasted so much time this episode. We might as well continue to waste time. So now what we will do is, at the end of this episode, we'll get back on the flight path and we'll start the next episode here. So it should only take us roughly 18 minutes to get there and back. So it might be a tie. I don't know. But yeah, roughly 13, 18 minutes, somewhere around there to get there and back. So that's how each episode will start, at least for 2 more episodes. Which does slow this zone down, but it is what it is. And we're going to have to do all of this process again when we are on, whatchamacallit, when we're on the Horde. Alright, here we go. Have you collected essence of the Screecher Spirits, Contessa? You have done well, Contessa. Perhaps now is time to reveal more. There is an ancient prophecy among the troll where the dead god Hakar, the soul flare, will one day return to this earth. Some say the coming of Hakar will bring joy and glory to trollkind, while others believe his resurrection marks the end of all things. I do not believe this myth, but I do know the essence of Hakar holds great power, and this power should be kept from those who would abuse it. And this is kind of what's building up to get us to get ready to go to Sunken Temple. Okay. The prophecy of Mosh-Aru. So this is that. We're going to save that one. We won't pick it up right now. That is a Zul'Farrak quest. You need the 2 things. You know, it kind of seems silly that we're not picking it up. We will pick up here. Okay, there's floating wreckage. Let's go there. So back into the saddle of...
Can't use that.
What? Should be on that. Back into the saddle of fishing. Okay, here we go. Alright, we're going to fish. And it is what it is, but we do need 5 more points. I'm kind of annoyed because we had that lure. I should have kept going. I forgot that we were already 5 behind. So, oh well. We get a little more fishing, which means we can continue our discussion of the zones. And what do they favor? So far, I don't know that I've found one that favors... Look at all that. Some of those things are going to be trash, but some of them might actually be useful, like the rugged leather in our... This thick leather in the building of more goods. Alright, so let's go travel over now to Feralis. Okay, so the Alliance do get 2 flight paths. One on the extreme end of Thousand Needles. And the other... There we go, got some more of these goods. The other on Feathermoon Stronghold, which is a pain to get to. But perhaps it offers easy access to this. I don't know what the quests are going to be like there. In the middle of the zone, you have Dire Maul. That's your dungeon. And the Horde have Camp Mojache. Well, obviously, for reasons that we're looking at right now, the more centrally located, that benefits. And getting to Dire Maul, that's all Horde right there. The fact that I get Feathermoon Stronghold and this nothing flight path on the edge of Thousand Needles, that's not doing it for me. Okay, we'll go ahead and fish. I don't want fire for the snapper. So, I mean, this does connect up into Desolace, closer to the Horde village. This side collects over to Thousand Needles, easier to get to from the Barrens. That favors the Horde. Both entrances favor the Horde. The Alliance get 2 flight paths. But this one is... They are both strongly hampered by the fact that this one is stuck on a freaking island, and this one has literally nothing going on for it. So, when you get to actual questing, sure. Maybe it's better to have this one to access this half. That might favor the Alliance. Whereas the Camp Mojache, you could say it favors it to have one there. I'd say this is a tie for anything that happens there. And Camp Mojache is better for literally all of this. So 60% of the zone, 50%, 60% of the zone. 60, I'd say 60 because actually that's a tie. So 10% of the zone is gone. And that includes Dire Maul. Now it does seem like they keep the quests separate. So they allow you to quest more on this side as an alliance and probably more around here as horde. So there are some attempts at neutrality, but that Dire Maul flight path, the ability to have this one central flight path for these eggs, I'm going to give this zone a very slight, and the entrance points, it has a slight horde advantage. Okay, that brings us to 1,000 Needles. That's not even a question. It's freaking horde all day. The horde have a central flight path. The only one, and they easily can access it from the Barrens. They have a secondary horde quest hub, mini one, right there, next to the neutral. And the quests, they actually have quests all throughout this zone. The Alliance have basically nothing. All the Alliance have is this flight path on the edge, which is not even, it's technically a Feralis flight path. So, obviously, 1,000 Needles is heavy horde territory. Because of that, Gadgetstan is completely neutral. Everything about this is neutral. There's no... It's a complete neutral zone. Getting here for the very first time favors the horde. So there's like a point better for the horde. But that's it. Everything else is... And there's a couple extra quests. So... But even that, if you look... So look what we're talking about here. We have a slight advantage. Like a 1 point advantage. But it's horde. So overall, this one's pretty neutral, but with like just a pinch for horde. All right, then Ungoro Crater. Now, by then we're not gonna let the other ones snowball. Nigel's Point is the flight path for both. This is a completely, truly neutral zone. I haven't quested here, so I can't speak very much. Once you're into Tanaris, it's just as easy to get here as horde or alliance. There's no carryover for that. So Ungoro Crater is really straight up neutral. There's nothing about it. And Silithus, same thing. You're going through, that's, as far as I can understand, pretty neutral. I have not done classic Silithus in a really long time. Silithus. Alright, so that area down here is pretty neutral. Alright, now we're going to go to the Eastern Kingdoms. Okay, starting with Trustful Glades, obviously, this is the capital city, so starting Northern Eastern Kingdoms and all of the things that it associates with Horde. As far as starting zones go, Trustful Glades is probably the best one. Now, it has a dungeon in it, a very popular dungeon. It's centrally located capital. Spread across the lateral. This is my favorite type. The only thing it doesn't really have is a strong, well, it doesn't have this borderline connection, but it does have an easy connection into Silverpine. Very easy, one of the easier ones. And also has connections into Western Plaguelands, which will score at some points later. All of that, I would probably rank Trustful Glades as the #1 starting point. It has all the jobs you could want, and they're set up very similar to Elwyn Forest. Capital-wise, Undercity is also probably the best. The only knock is you can be like, oh, it's kind of annoying to go around the alchemy overlapping with the direct connect to Sylvanas down there. And that's sort of annoying. Yeah, in a vacuum, but it's way less annoying than everything else. It has, I think, every job. Maybe not Hunter. That might get you. There might be no Hunter trait, no Hunter thing, which, if that's the case, then we are knocked down. That'll knock Undercity out of first place. That might be true, that there's no Hunter training in, which, yeah, I think that is the case. All right, well then, that in itself, that's a knock. That takes us down. but I have to double check. If I'm wrong about that, Undercity is first place. Now it's separated by a Zeppelin from the rest of the world. It's a little bit annoying. Okay, we'll give it second place. So from all the main questing opportunities, people are frequently needing to port there. But if you're comparing Darnassus to Undercity, it's no contest. People port to Undercity because they want to save 5 minutes. It's literally a life experience that you won't forget trying to get to freaking Darnassus as a human. And it's attached to a much cooler zone. You go into near the end game here, you get to Western Plaguelands. Well, that's connected to Alterac Valley if you're Alliance, but for the Horde, it's easy. Hop, skip, and a jump. You just have to head over from Tristful Glades. Other than that, it's pretty stinking neutral. I do think they don't have a flight path here. I believe the Horde does not have one. So, the Scalomance is more easily, because you have to walk over from Undercity, whereas the Alliance can just come here. So Scalomance does slightly favor the Alliance. But getting here in the first place and just being so close to a capital, I'd say is such a huge difference that it actually favors the Horde. So easy to access Western Plaguelands as Horde character. So that makes up for the fact that they technically have a flight path right next to it and near Scalomance. Although the edge is small. I'd give a small edge to the Horde. Now you go to Eastern Plaguelands. That's a true neutral zone. Lights Hope Chapel. Once you cut it out, all things considered, it's sure you can fly there and be a little pinch closer than the Horde can, but walking from on a mount from Undercity, not a big deal. So I'd say Eastern Plaguelands is truly neutral. They've truly made that zone neutral. Sure, it's closer if you want to fly directly, but that's not enough of a difference for me to really make a big deal about it, because by then you're going wherever you want. It's end game zone. All right, we're going to see how long I can roll without a bobber now that I'm 253. So 258 with my thing. All right, now Silver Pine is a secondary zone. It does have the length like Darkshore has, and it's supposed to be more comparable to that. And it does have some difficult quests with an elite hub here and an elite quests line here. So it is actually pretty challenging. The variance and level of quests jumps a lot. It's not as friendly to quest in as Darkshore, but it is more contained, and it does contain the dungeon Shadowfang Keep, which is cool to run. It's easier to access than Darkshore. Also, you need the Alliance have to use it for multiple reasons. They have to cross through the lake if they want to get to Scarlet Monastery, which is an important dungeon for both factions. They have to, especially if they're a paladin or a warlock, they have to travel to Shadowfang Keep. Alright, time to use a bobber. So, there's that. So the Alliance is forced to travel in it in a way that's far more different than the way that the Horde has to interact with. Okay, we're down to just needing 1 point. In a way that the Horde has to interact with whatchamacallit. Yeah, the turtle's in a bad spot. Then the Horde has to interact with Darkshore. So I would give that as a benefit point to the Horde. It's a better zone overall. Even though the questing does suck, so that does make it close, the questing is not as robust. Although the quests are cooler, and you get a little bit of flavor points, I'm trying to avoid that. I would still lean this zone as a secondary zone. It's better than a Dark Shore. And it certainly, obviously, favors the Horde. Okay, now moving over to Alterac. Actually, let's look at Hillsbrad, this area first. Hillsbrad Foothills is very challenging to get to as an Alliance member. You have to come up and get over, so that favors the Horde, whereas the Horde can simply come down either through the lake in Alterac or through Silverpine much easier. Once they get here, they have Terran Mill, and the questing is very robust here for the Horde. So all of that favors the Horde. It's a pain in the butt to get there as an Alliance. Once you get here, the flight path is fine. It's right in the middle, just like Terran Mill, but it's still a little further away from Alterac and the Hinterlands. And the questing is less here. So this zone, I would say, moderately favors the Horde. But when you get into Alterac, it is straight neutral, and actually this is maybe for the first time ever we are having a zone that favors the Alliance, because you have this flight path. I don't know, but then you have that walking path right there. It's neutral. You do have this zone for questing for the Horde that is all non-hostile. You next to the PvP area. It's pretty neutral. There's a pretty equal amount of quests. I'd say okay. It doesn't favor the Alliance. Well, it's neutral. Alterac Mountains is neutral. The flight path is no more beneficial in this case than the zone itself is. All right, now the Hinterlands, the Alliance have a flight path at the extreme left end. The Horde have a flight path at the extreme right. Both of those are annoying and out of the way. The Alliance have very little quests in this zone. The Horde, so that's the only other thing it comes down to. All right, now we're done fishing. Is what are you going to do with once you're there? The Alliance have almost nothing to do with the Hinterlands, and the Horde have a lot of quests, including some really great elite ones. So, we're to get the points there too. Let's kill Wastewander. All right, so we've done a whole hour again, like we did yesterday. Screwing around. We did fishing. We did traveling. It is what it is. But now we can really start. Well, I think we'll get to do a little bit more than we did yesterday. So we're gonna go start killing the Wastewanders. All right, we do need the Shadow Mages. We also need Assassins and Rogues, I believe. Okay. So, as a I got that guy. Also, you can use that on these guys. It's pretty good. It is a little bit mana intensive. We got XP at least for killing him. Alright. Thief. We gotta find where these guys are at. Bandit. This is the ones we killed before. Bandit. We gotta be careful also that we don't accidentally get ourselves in the zone of the Caliph. Bandit. Thief. Okay, we're still not there yet. We need to kill a total of 24 guys. 8 rogues, 6 assassins, and 10 shadow mages. There you go, there's a rogue. So that's why we don't see the rogues. They're invisible. That's iron, we don't need that. So that 556, that's just a nice hit. Okay. Another rogue. And I see another one over there. Wandering off to the side, as well as Shadow Mage. That's when I get that strength of stone from that sword. It's pretty good. What did we get on our... Yeah, oh, we have unspent talent points too. Good, I didn't... Okay, so now we only need one more point of divine intellect, and then we've unlocked the next tier. Oh, we just got a scroll. Did I have one of those? No, I've got multiple scrolls now too. So we're ready for an elite run when that happens. Oh my gosh, just... That was nice. Back to back, that was over 1,000 damage. That's what we want to see. We want to start to see us breaking into the thousands. You dead, buddy. Okay, we'll heal off and let's go get this other Shadow Mage. That's the Caliph. Remember, we don't want him. Oh, he's going to aggro on, probably. Yes, he sure did. Okay, we got the crit there, and now I'm going to run. I'm actually going to bubble up to get out of here. I don't want to fight these guys. Okay, I will fight the Voidwalker. And that's just good business. That's just finishing the job we started. Got it. Okay, we're gonna have to... We're gonna have to stop soon. To get... There's some assassins. To get some mana. Oh, there's another rogue. Probably could go with a well-fed buff as well. Soothing Turtle Bisque. I should probably eat some of that. Oh, a level 8, just a regular thick leather helmet. Come on. Be better at hitting. This is why the end-all, be-all of frickin' classic WoW is percent chance to hit. Dang it, this guy's coming up on me. I just want my well-fed buff. Okay, I got it. The Caliph patted around and got me again with his 2 stupid rogues. Come on, stop chasing me. Nobody cares. There's more iron. Don't need that either. Alright, let's get this up. We got a bunch of shadow people. We just stumbled our way into this. Okay, we got another Wastewander pouch as well. Nice. Okay. See what we got here. I mean, it's pretty mana intense the way I'm fighting. I guess I could just not worry about it. I guess save a little mana. I'm getting all these scrolls. Just tons of them. Oh. You know what, I'm going to use that Scroll of Agility too because I'm getting all of these level 3s. And that will help me with my critting. Oh, there's a solid chest too. I hear a stealth dude. There we go. Let's get that guy. Pull him off, and then I think I'm gonna have to guzzle up a little bit before I jump in there to fight multiple shadow people. Alright, I think let's go ahead and eat one of these cakes. Christmas cakes I'm still sitting on. We do have the 5 Wastewanders though, so we are all good. Once we make it back to town and we've killed these, at least we'll pretty much be done. We've already killed their leader, and this will be all the Wastewander justice that we need. Okay, I do see multiple. What is going to be time? Oh, yikes. Oh, that is costing... Okay, I gotta back it up. Now I gotta get out of here. Actually, because I pulled even there was a rogue there, I wasn't ready to pull that guy. Yeah. Let's see. Can I survive? Woohoo, that was close. I'm gonna use one of these potions I have. Okay. Go ahead, I'll fight this dude too. I have the mana. Okay, I resisted that spell, that's good. Come on. Okay, mana's getting a little low. Last dude. Let's see if we can... what we can do here. Okay, got this done on him at least. I don't know that I will... I didn't have the mana to do anything after that, but... Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and now eat another Christmas cake. So that was lame. But I did peel off a couple of those Void Walkers. Use the potion, but I have a ton of them. So it's actually good for me to get out of some of these stacks of potions. Okay. Alright, let's try this again. Where's that little rogue dude? Come on, I know you're around here. Where? I hear you. This guy? What? Alright, I'm gonna go for this solid chest, I guess. See what we can get in here. Whoa, we got a whole bunch of things. The Silencer, a 14 attack power gun? That's cool. I'm gonna look and see how much that can sell. A 6 agility, 6 stam ring? Okay. Oh, gosh. The Seal of Rin is so good. So I would lose... I would lose 1 strength, and I'd swap 6 strength for 6 agility, and I would gain 3 stamina. This would be basically... I'd be trading in 4 intellect and 3 spirit for 2 stamina. That's not worth it. That one's... But this is 3 stamina worth 1 point of strength. Kind of. Yeah, alright. I'm gonna keep it, what I have. 8 spirit, 9 stamina. Yeah, that's nothing. Okay, but those are both good items. That's a good chest I just had. And that gun makes it all worth it. I bet you I can... I bet because of that 14 attack power, that's a gun that either a rogue or, like, that thing is going to be worth some money. That one I gotta be aggressive. I gotta just put that one on the auction house over and over again because I think we can make some bank on that. We'll look it up, but... Like, I truly think that one's gonna do us good. Okay. Crushed it. Alright, what are we at here? We need 2 more rogues. I have not killed any assassins. And I still need 3 more mages. There's an assassin. Yeah, we were starting to go for those assassins before. But I got chased off by the Caliph. Let's find some assassins. Yeah, I suspect we might be able to get a couple hundred gold at least for that silencer. It's a pretty good gun. 14 attack power is solid. Doesn't matter what you're... I could see warriors, rogues, and hunters all wanting it. Alright. 3 shadow mages, 5 assassins, and 2 rogues. The rogues are going to be easy because we have them all right here. And we just murdered that one's face. I do like this girl, Glee Contessa. I'll just have to kind of get back into the vibe of the whole thing. And I don't know... Alright, we don't need any more rogues. got those guys. Just gotta find assassins. That's a Shadow Mage, okay. Guess we can go for them too. They are annoying to fight, but, you know, it is what it is. Oh, he's running. You little baby butthole. Another rogue we don't need. Another rogue we don't need. Alright. Now to find the assassins. There could be a couple right around here, but no. There's another Shadow Mage, though. And what is this? Wastewander Scofflaw? Never even heard of that before. Literally don't think I've ever seen that, but this is a trio here. And I want the assassin. That's what this is all about. Alright, let's see what we can do. No one oh, this is okay. I'm gonna go ahead and do this so I can buff up, but this is why. It's the chicken thing. Okay. Can I get a heal off? Jeez Louise. Come on. Come on. Oh, one of them got a crit on me. I was not playing like a hardcore person. Too risky. Alrighty. That's why I haven't seen... I wondered when I saw the Scofflaw. So there is a chicken we will have to find here too. This is the second zone with a chicken, and then you have to do an escort. I think it's a lot more annoying. I think the chicken starts down here, and you have to escort them up and along this, and that's one of the packs that you have to beat. A Scofflaw. I've not heard about that. I've not ever heard that used before, but I guess it makes sense as some kind of a bandit being a Scofflaw. My mom is texting me. I'll have to answer after. She's asking me for a catchy one-liner for a sign. But I'll put my brain on it. I'll think about it. Alright, I died. That was annoying. Okay. Alright, so let's eat another one of these. Lost my 333. Gotta put my whatchamacallit back on too. Yeah, I don't see any eggs. So I must not have it yet in this zone. Okay. Alright, let's try this again. They do not like it. Attack me! I mean, they're pretty tough. This thing is tougher than the... But it still ran like all the other things. I was really only doing this all for the freaking assassin. Obviously, though, someone came and either made the chicken run past it. They did not engage with the chicken. That's probably most likely what happened. But they also could have just died. Okay, so we got our second assassin after that. So we're down to needing 1 Shadow Mage and 4 assassins. Let's find assassins. Shadow Mages, those guys are pretty easy to find. They're everywhere. That's a rogue. I hear more roguishness. Rogue right in front of me. Yeah, they're everywhere. I don't even know who that... Oh, alright, 4 assassins. There's one. Probably a rogue chilling nearby. That's going to make this more annoying than it has to be. Yep, 2 rogues. 3 rogues. They're everywhere. This is what makes this thing... If you were lower level, those guys would be aggroing you from all over the place. Actually going to save my stun for when this guy tries to run. This girl. Alright, let's kill this dude now. This will be our last... our last Shadow Mage. Oh, she's already running. Okay. Just burning through my magic points, blowing everything. I think that's one of the more annoying things. It kind of goes for Shaman too, where it's just, if you want to, you can routinely destroy all of your mana. There's another assassin right there. It's good. Eating some more of my, what's it called? Graku mincemeat fruitcake. I mean, it's March. Like, it's fine. Fruitcake from Christmas is still good in March. In real life, I'd probably still eat it. I'm pretty laissez-faire with expiration dates. Hey, you know, if the food is good enough, what's a little diarrhea? And my wife thinks that's gross. Alright, I don't want to fight that rogue. So we need to just find more assassins. We need 2 more, and then we've finally finished it. Get off me. Okay, good. Alrighty here. And we got a lot of fishing done today, and we might be able to search off into the world once more. I mean, while we're here, we could probably hit up Gazridian. That's a normal quest, and it's for normal people. No, it's easy, and we're kind of close, so I think it's a one-off, too. There's, like, no real ties into anything else. So, based on the limitations of our time, what I'm looking at, there's another assassin, too. So we have our 2 assassins. That's good. I will show you. Got ourselves a Wastewander water pouch on that one. Okay. Alright, this should be our last, and then we've provided all of the Wastewander justice that we need. The guy, I was gonna say the guy almost got me in my 6, but nope, they did in fact. Oh, they resisted me. Alright, so now bubble up, get out of here. Alright, we're gonna go do Gazridian before we turn in these other 2. More Wastewater water pouches and the whatever this stinking other one is, more Wastewander justice. Let's do Gazridian. Okay, so Gazridian is an interesting quest. And there is one clear, hands-down best way to do it. So the quest wants you looking for these. So what's the guy in here? Gazrilla is in here. So there's this Gazrilla. There's this Gazri kind of base that they're using that the trolls have tapped into. or that reflect the troll culture of the area, and Gazridian are pieces of these troll artifacts. What they are in the game is anytime you see, like this, a little piece of a bump in the grass, in the sand. Here's the guy that gives it. Marvin Rivet Seeker.
What's up? I know. I'm out here in the middle of nowhere. My home is actually in Ratchet, but after crashing my Zeppelin here, I thought I might as well start the research I came here to do.
Adventurer, I'm a scientist, but also a treasure hunter at heart. Long ago, when trolls used to occupy this land, they created large amounts of ornaments modeled after Gazrilla, a hydra they worshipped as a deity. These ornaments are carved out of an element that I call Gazridian, after the hydra god. I did find some myself, but I'd like to have some more to study. Maybe you can find some? I even invented a detector that makes finding the Gazridian a snap. Just put it on, and the search begins.
So, the Gazridian... First of all, we picked up this quest. If you put the thing on, I think it takes your helmet slot up. And, what is it? It's just called Gazridian. Yeah. And it's annoying. First of all, yeah, it takes your helmet slot. And it really doesn't do that. You have to be close. It makes it appear like a mine thing. And then you have to... hope that you find it. So there's a few, and basically any place where there's ruins, there's going to be a concentration of them. Like we have right here. Now you need 30, and you can only find one at a time, so that is what makes this quest annoying. They do appear literally all over the desert, but again, like I said, closer to ruins, the better. But the best place, hands down, is that place where we have to go fight the Dune Mall. It's not even a question. It's not even a contest. So we at least picked it up and we can get started on it. Now, as we search, you know what? We're not going to complete it right now. But now, as we're out and about in the world, now we can, anytime we see a little piece in the sand, we can start collecting them. But let's go over and get this tapped dowsing widget. Go grab that, because that one truly is just a little quickie. And then we'll go turn in this. Plus it'll give us a chance to keep our eyes peeled. Maybe we get a couple more pieces of this Gazridian. But I was just going to go down there and get them, but now I see a lot of those Dune Malls are right there. So I want to be able to kill the Dune Malls at the same time as we do that. And there you go. There's another piece of Gazridian. Do not need a scorpion tail lasher. He's going to make us fight him for it, I guess. See if we can get it without fighting him. There you go. Give peace a chance, little spider. Little scorpion. Ready to go. So this is kind of like the up in the parts, up in the Shimmering Flats. It's like the same person designed this quest. So, like, you know what would be really fun if you just ran around a sandy desert looking for tiny pieces of trash. Yeah, how many? Like 30. Just have them do it 30 times. Oh, that's cool.
It's too far away.
Yeah, super cool. Who doesn't like doing that? And, oh, also, let's give them a helmet thing in their inventory to make it appear on the minimap. I find that I've done it with the helmet. It's useless. I feel like by the time it's telling me it's on the map, I'm just as easily finding them out in the world. But I guess they want to give you that opportunity, I guess, if you're getting frustrated. I did put the hat on before, but it's just... I did not feel that it helped me at all. Alright, so... Oh, I forgot. We're going to go over to that other quest real quick. The tap dowsing widget. We're going to go grab that. Don't know what that little thing was. Little nub sticking up in the ground. Alright. There we go. This will be our 5th. Also, the other lame thing about having to do 30 of something is Classic WoW cannot stack things greater than 20. So you're basically saying you're going to have to carry 2 inventory slots for this particular quest. Yeah, and if you look, Questy also is already helping you out with, like, known nodes. No, it's not. Questy's just kind of like a feel like when it gets all scattershot like this, I don't even know where Questy's database draws itself from. It's just like, yeah, we're just gonna like sprinkle some crap all over and call it a day. It's kind of about right here. It's kind of about, you know, I don't think it's hyper specific. But yeah, we're already 20% of the way done.
I'm out of range.
Okay, this will be the 7th one. This dude might come. I don't know. We're pretty high level. As long, you know, when you're 8 levels higher than the mobs, they usually let you go about your business without too much complaint. Alright, so this is the entrance to Zul'Farrak. We'll spend a lot more time here. Not in the entrance really per se, but just at Zul'Farrak when we do that dungeon. But for whatever reason, this dowsing thing, this is what starts us on that real crucial quest line. It's kind of nice that we are taking our time in this zone because it buys me time to do more questing. I really didn't get a lot of questing done yesterday. These guys are all elite. I did maybe 3 quests. I did a lot of cooking yesterday, and then it was a really bummed out moment because I made, you know, my wife's a good cook, but I was trying to give her some time off and do the cooking. And so I made, see, look, that thing just died. And I wonder if it just died from random spawn or like what. So you use this little dowsing widget thing. And that's it. But then it makes these. So I don't know what happened. Did somebody run from them? Maybe. Because there's 2 of them. So I don't know what happened. And they also just 50% armor reduction? What the heck? So I got 1. Okay, now mana's getting low. Now it's going to become battle of attrition. Can I pop off a heal? At least my armor is... There you go. My armor is not on that 50% debuff anymore. Okay, I do have a heal available. Okay, I'm going to use it. I'm also going to have to reapply Crusader. This is lame. I like that. Oh, one more 2% buff. Come on. Alright, we didn't really get anything from them, loot-wise. There's some more Gazridian. And now we'll be 30% of the way done. We have 9 of our 30 on Gazridian. Anyway, so I made a fettuccine. I think it came out really good. Not quite as saucy as my wife makes it, but the flavor I thought I did really good. But the spaghetti was not a hit with my kids. I thought it was fine, but not a hit with the kids. And my wife doesn't eat it that much because pork hits her in a hard way, and I had some sausage in there, so she just can't really, not that she doesn't like that kind of stuff, so it's kind of like a business decision she's gonna make. Am I gonna eat some pork right now and pay the price? So anyway, it sucked because I did spend a lot of time cooking yesterday for food that it's always a disappointment. And also with the spaghetti, like with the fettuccine, I'm like, I kind of like this. I almost like it better than when my wife makes it. So I felt like that was a score. But then the spaghetti, I'm like, this is, my wife's is undeniably better. So I screwed that one up. All right, we did get, I think we got somewhere around the ballpark of 10. Or are we still only at 9 Gazridian? Let's see where I'm collecting it. I don't even know. Yeah, where's it at? Oh, it's at the bottom. I did get 10. So we got a third of the Gazridian. We can turn these in, and that's probably going to be about where we call it for today. We'll, rather than start a new quest line, but we can at least talk about what we're going to do to get started on the next one.
Welcome to Tanaris, adventurer.
Pair 27 silver. I don't need the yellowtail
to me,
or the forked
but I
tongue
know how
or the
looks
clam.
can be deceiving.
Do I need a... I don't need that. We are not maxed out on Mage Weave, but have I even turned in all the Mage Weave quests? No, I have not. Okay. Alright, so you know what? We're going to go to... I'm going to fly all the way back up there, just like we started today's episode. We're going to start there, so I can turn in the Mage Weave on the next quest. Because I now have 60. Right? I have 20. Yep, I've got 60, so I can finally do a Mage Weave turn in. As far as cooking goes, we can get some of that. Now, do I need a bolt of Mage Weave for anything that I do? Because that's not... I'm not going to go play the auction house for that. That's ridiculous. It is a reagent for... Why does it not show me? It creates... Oh, I think it was showing me... There we go. It was showing me the spell or whatever. Alright, so what we're going to do is scan and see, does it need anything that is not tailoring? Nope, it's only used in tailoring skills. It is not used in any other items. So I can safely ditch... You know what, though? I can trade... let's ship it. Let's not sell it. We'll ship it off to our mage. He could use all the... My mage is a tailor. He can use all the Mage Weave he can get. So we'll go ahead and send these 4 free bolts we got from fishing to old Dadgar. Okay, the scrolls are still good on. The rugged leather I like. Some of these other fish I don't need, but these winter squid, the glossy mite fish.
I am listening.
Oh, not that guy.
Welcome to Tanaris, adventurer.
Hey,
How can I be
buddy.
of service to you today?
That I'm fine on, even though they do sell pretty good.
But I know how looks can be deceiving.
Okay. Alright, now these are both quest related. I'm definitely going to be selling the silencer when we go to an auction house. I can look at that when we get to Darnassus. The forest hoop of the monkey. I guess I can look at something like that too. I can put those down in the auction house as well. Alright, let's turn these quests in. First, we'll turn in as many Wastewander water pouches as we can turn in. Back again, Glee Contessa? If you have 5 more Wastewander water pouches, then I have a care package with your name on it.
Excellent. The more water pouches we are able to
The
reclaim,
more
the further away from
water.
disaster we'll all be. Keep them coming, and I will be sure to reward you for every 5 water pouches you bring me.
Why does he talk like that?
Hurry back!
Can I turn in any more? Yeah, we have enough.
The more water pouches we are able to reclaim,
Hey, we were able to do it
the
twice.
further away from
Oh.
disaster we'll all be.
We got 230
Keep 'em
XP
coming,
each
and I
time.
will be sure to reward you for every
Now the
5
pumpkins,
water
I do
pouches
not
you
care about, but the magic potions, I don't mind stacking those. Oh man, we need to use these regular mana potions. Why am I sitting on those? But that pumpkin we can sell.
Hey, how you doing?
Okay, so let's put that one. We have completed more, or water pouch bounty over and over, a repeatable version. That bad boy is done. And picked it up.
Top-notch work, adventurer. Top-notch. You've thinned down the nomad population to a point where we can actually take the fight to them. If you haven't already, talk to Spigot operator Luglunket here. He gives a bounty on any of the Wastewander water pouches you may have run across while bringing those nomads to justice. Sergeant Blythe.
And we would have done a lot. The Divine-O-Matic Rod is a good thing. So that's it. That's all the Wastewander fighting that we need at this point in time. And we've also done the Screecher Justice, right? We turned that one in? Yes, we did. Alright, last one to turn in right now and get going. Those are all dungeons. Is this guy. Gadgetstan Water Survey. So we did it.
Talk to me.
Welcome back, Junior Surveyor Glee Contessa. Have you completed your assignment yet?
What's this? You were ambushed by some sort of bad mojo creepy crawly? Oh, this does not bode well for the Gadgetstan Water Company. No, indeed. I guess I should have told you about the reports coming in on some crazy bug creatures that appear to be sucking up all the water in the desert. At first, I thought it was just a crock. We have enough trouble with the nomads as is. I thought it was just more of their shenanigans. Well, now we know at least.
Okay, so that is not that far up. But yes, like I said, this is a crucial part of the quest line. All right?
All right now, these reports about the bugs. What we know is that they are draining
Now
the
he's
water
southern.
pools that used to be where the noxious lair is. What we don't know is, well, everything else. Let's figure out who our enemy is first. I want you to head into the noxious lair and get some parts off of those critters. Get 5 from the centaur there and bring them to Alchemist Peslazug for him to dink with. With him on the case, we'll figure out what they are.
Okay, so he wants us to go now kill. There's a little patch of them that spawn right here. There's actually some over here too, but I guess the part we need is over there. I don't know exactly why, but that's fine. So now we have some things to decide about what we want to do next time. We're gonna start where I said, but South Sea Shakedown. So now it might be better for us to start going and fighting the pirates. Some of our life is probably going to be best going that way, as annoying as that is. But we're going to... I'll put those up there. We're going to sell these pumpkins. I don't need those.
Welcome to Tanaris, adventurer. How can I be of service to you?
And now we're going to get back on the flight path all the way to Darnassus. We gained a couple gold, but really it's not going great for that. But all right, everyone. We have another episode in the pipe, 5x5. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for watching, for listening, and tuning in. And support me in my greater endeavors. If you liked what you saw, check out the Patreon where we do the same kind of project for Assassin's Creed. And I will see all of you next time on Lore of Warcraft.
Where would you like to fly to?
Peace out. Bye.